For the chorus, I want to layer up the lead vocals with doubled vocals in unison. This is pretty common if you want the lead vocals to sound thicker and have more of a natural chorus effect to them. What I'll often do is have the singer sing the same thing in unison, but with a softer vocal tone. So here I had her sing the chorus 2 more times, but in an almost falsetto tone, and then I panned the vocals left and right for a stereo effect.
I carried your heart when you needed me. That's just how our love was meant to be.
Now I already tuned up the vocals, but the timing is a bit off. This is even more obvious when I pull in the lead vocals.
I carried your heart when you needed me. That's just how our love was meant to be.
So what I'm going to do is use Elastic Audio to line up the doubled vocals with the lead vocal. So first I'll select the monophonic algorithm for both of my doubled tracks, and then I'll switch over to Warp View. You can move around the warp markers with the grabber tool, but as you can see, if I move one of them, it shifts everything out of place. So typically what I do is create a starting warp marker at the beginning of each clip, and then I do the same at the end of each clip. And this creates pivot points, so everything doesn't completely fall out of time while I'm aligning the vocals. Now I can go through and manually align the vocals. Just keep in mind with vocals, you can't start snapping these to the grid like with instruments. I work in slip mode, and I just time align the envelopes. So I'm paying more attention to the shape of the waveforms, not so much the position of the warp markers themselves. You want to match up the front end and back end of the waveforms. If you want to create a new warp marker, you can double click, but this will also highlight the clip, and this can be kind of annoying because you have to go back and deselect the clip. So a better way to do this is just to hold control while clicking with the grabber tool to create a new warp marker. Here I'm using them to line up the back end of these waveforms. So this can be a tedious process, but in the end it'll be worth it because all of the doubled vocals will be lined up perfectly with the leads, giving us that thickening ensemble or chorus effect that we're looking for. Alright, so I went through and I lined up all of the vocals, and another thing I did was I actually went through and cut out some of the breaths in the doubled vocals, and I left the breaths in the lead vocal. You can take them out or you can leave them in, it's really up to you. I like to leave the lead vocal breaths in as long as they're not too distracting, so let's give this a listen.
I carried your heart when you needed me. That's just how our love was meant to be. I keep on tearing through your tragedies. I took the brunt of your shame and all your misery.
And here's what it sounds like in the mix. I've pulled the backing vocals down in the mix quite a bit, and I filtered out more of the low end than I did with the lead vocal.
I carried your heart when you needed me. That's just how our love was meant to be. I keep on tearing through your tragedies. I took the brunt of your shame and all your misery. It's just a goddamn shame that you cannot see all that is good for you is just as good for me. I gave you everything and you left me in the cold.
So it's a nice thickening effect. It also gives the vocals like a stereo width effect, but I've kept the lead vocals on top. They should still be the focus here. Now you can take this one step further and add harmonies along with your doubled vocals for a nice big group vocal sound. So I had her sing in 2 more parts as harmonies. I tuned them up with Melodyne and I time aligned them with the rest of the vocals with Elastic Audio.
I carried your heart when you needed me.
And here's what it sounds like with everything in the mix.
I carried your heart when you needed me. That's just how our love was meant to be. I keep on tearing through your tragedies. I took the brunt of your shame and all your misery. It's just a goddamn shame that you cannot see all that is good for you is just as good for me. I gave you everything and you left me in the cold.
So the thing here is that the lead vocal is still the focus, and all of these other harmonies and doubling is just there to support the lead. In the next video, I'll show you an example where the group vocals are functioning as a unit and there really isn't a lead vocal.